got Monday's footage to go over. It was a little bit lighter of a class, but I'm sure I will talk enough to drag it out. Ooh, Mitch and Dan right off the bat. What's up, Austin? What's up, Pat? How you doing, man? Looks like Cody's bullying Camden over there. Let's go back to this takedown. It's a heavy whizzer from Dan. Mitch trying to drive through on it. Gets back up. Pat and Dan up front. Let's see, we're working that. All right, a little arm drag action. Cool, that's a move we went over. Just like to see that. Right past the guard on the takedown. Good stuff. What's up, Cody? It's good to see someone a little bit bigger than Mitch bullying him more than I ever could. It's like Dan's working from north-south. What did Danny do down here? So Danny in the foreground working just with an underhook and kind of trying to shuck Pat by to work the escape here. I know Danny was working on this a bit a few weeks ago, so it's good to see him putting it into practice. But the cool thing about this sort of side control escape is you know, you're either moving your opponent with a big bridge, which Danny is not doing here. But if that's not working, you're often moving yourself out from underneath him, which is predominantly what Danny does here. Right, he creates some distance, comes up to his knees with an underhook. Looks like Pat was attempting, I think you were attempting to maybe fall back with the guillotine. I'm sure Danny helped persuade you to go backwards. What did Big Dan get there? Looks like Big Dan maybe sank in the north-south. Yeah, I got the north-south choke. Chap, what did you do? Let's see, because you were... Okay, so Camden had you pinned for a bit. So Camden's getting a little... Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Camden's getting a little too far over. Right, his head's pretty far over your body right now. His hips are basically above yours, Cody. I mean, he's kind of like leaned into a position where you can now dictate where he's going to go, right? He's not, I wouldn't even say he's cross-eyed with you anymore since his hips are basically over top of you. I think he realized it a little too late. Sorry, I missed that. Mitch with this throw by. Inside trip. Cool. Big Dan working up to 4-point position. finding himself in Kimura trouble. So what? Right up until Dan like turned to the mat, what Mitch was actually, he was in a position here that was like the Kimura, like the guy named Kimura after which that move is named. This was, I think, a common way, if I recall correctly, that he used to extract the arm to establish a Kimura. Like, it was a bit more brute force. I guess you could say it was brute force, but it's like a 2-on-1 grip, pulling out from underneath, getting the knuckles behind the back, and setting it up from there. I think Dan probably felt the threat. Danny got himself to a mounted triangle. Let's see what he does with it. Is that... Hard to tell if that was like from arm or shoulder or the triangle finally taking its toll. Let's see how Dan got here. Spent the time off balance on mount, shin pin on the arm, pulling that elbow up high and replacing it with his leg. And then now, I like what he's doing here. You can see him. He's got a maneuverability problem that he has to solve for himself. You know, he needs to get this ankle behind his knee at this point. A way to help you do that, like his legs are in a fairly good position now, but he's got to make his legs more maneuverable. So he has to weigh or put a lot of his weight on his post that's across the body, or on the other side of the body. So he's putting his weight that way. I don't think he has to lift up the head. He's under the head at this point. So he's really just trying to get the foot position set up. Isolating the arm. Or does he not even get the foot position? Yeah, okay. It looked like the angle from there on that arm, maybe it was more of an Americana sort of pressure. Imagine there was a bit of a bend in Pat's arm there that probably didn't feel great on the shoulder. So Danny didn't even have the actual like mounted triangle, like he didn't figure for his legs, but he had enough control. He was wedged around him enough to put Pat's arm in some danger. Nice takedown, Cody. A little step behind, power him through. And then now you've landed in a top half guard, so you got to work to get your knee free. Looks like you're doing that now. Slip the leg, nice. And working from side control. And Mitch is kind of in the same dilemma. There we go. Time is the seminar on Friday? I believe 6 p.m. to 9. But Coach Luke is going to send something out. But it's not this Friday. Just FYI. But yeah, keep an eye on your email. Speed the footage up a little bit. Dang. Dan got up from some heavy pressure there. Worked up to her 4 points. Just kind of ran out. Nice job, Camden. Let's look at this again. So Cam's in some trouble from mount here. Against an opponent bigger than him, that's always hard, right? So bridge, you get him off balance. All right, I like your switching. So you're not quite executing like a traditional upa or a trap bridge and roll, because you don't have like arm control, and you don't have a leg hidden. But what you're doing is getting him off balance, making Cody start to base out, try to get stable, try to retain his mount, and in that you can often pull a knee back in, pull both knees back in, establish better frames, all sorts of things. But it all that started with that off balancing, so that was really good. And how did everybody else end? Mitch, get a... Oh, Dan tried to throw. Didn't quite have anything wrapped up, though. Cool. All right, Cole and Pat. Uncut, Cole. The arm drag, nice. Nice foot sweep. I like how you work these two to get. There's a bit of a gap between them, so I wouldn't say they're exactly chained. But Cole's got a reset. You hit him with the next thing. That was nice, man. Danny taking Ronnie for a ride there. Danny's got her left arm trapped, elevates her up and over. Doesn't just regard, goes right into a triangle attack. Or attempting. She's got his foot under control, okay? Caleb getting a little sneaky. That was interesting. So Sean's on his back. Caleb rolls through and immediately switches to, gets himself into a deep half guard. Really nice transition from having somebody on your back to being in a position that can really impact their base and lead to a lot of good submissions or sweeps. Let's see what you do with it. Oh, he gets out. Okay. Trying to work stand up. Sorry, man. Ain't nothing wrong with guard pulling, except when you both do it at the exact same time, and then I make fun of you relentlessly, which is totally not foreshadowing. As I nurse my back to health, whenever I can get back on the mats again, I will probably be doing a lot of guard pulling myself. Okay, Austin. Danny trying very hard to pull guard, and Ronnie almost refusing him. Looks like Danny's thinking about trying to get to the back right now. Okay. Maybe changing his mind, going to a mounted position. Let's get the hips up. Sean's in a good spot, working kind of a dorsal Kimura against Caleb here. Opts for the, almost for the armbar. Lost it. What happened? All right, they're just taking a break. Danny loses the back. Ronnie having none of it. Good mount from Caleb. So yeah, Ronnie's got to be careful. She's kind of like, since right about here, maybe even before. Yeah, like basically, as soon as they get into the scramble from the back, like she's been vulnerable for a lot of this, right? If she manages to give Danny space to remove his bottom leg, she's in triangle trouble. Triangles are, you know, the first cousin of arm bars too, so there's always that. Let's keep going ahead a little bit. So this is about as safe as I've seen her for the last minute or so. On the guillotine threat. Oh, and he gets it. But the 5-finger too, I think. Was it? Did he connect his hands? Maybe he did connect his hands. Yeah, he may have had the connection there. I don't know. Danny, if you're in the chat, chime in. Has this one song been playing over and over? Damn it. There we go. I know the trouble you're in here, Sean. It totally sucks to have a Caleb in mount sitting high like that. Yeah, you gotta start working to get him off balance. And then even Caleb, like I'd like to see you getting a bit more active there. I'm sure you guys are just jawing and having fun or whatever, but trying to break those grips, trying to isolate that arm a bit, get a little bit more active from up there. Oh, dude, are you kidding me? I mean, I've talked about it on stream enough. Like, I just one day decided to choose not to let Caleb take a top position on me, and it doesn't always work, but it definitely helped my it helped reduce the amount of time I spent with him pinning me. And then to get out of a match with Caleb right into Mitch has got to that's got to suck. Trying to look at how you're dealing with Caleb's high knee shield here. Looking to pummel in. Because that really, I mean, that's, you know, it's like your number one obstacle, at least in how Caleb's playing half guard. Mitch. Always fun to see Mitch pulling that. And of course, he does that right as Pat gets around the... Okay, so Caleb... Looks like Caleb maybe dove on... Yeah, he dove on deep half, relinquishing the high knee shield. And now you got to worry about your hip position and everything, Pat. Well, I mean... I'm assuming you said I don't in relation to getting around his knee shield. Well, he gave it up and tried to advance. You shut down his advance, and he didn't make it a point to get, at least not yet, get his knee shield back. So while it may not have been a direct advancement on your part, you still didn't give it back to him when he gave it up. So that's a good thing. I like how you're switching between using your head as the far side, like using your head as the crossface instead of just a cross-facing arm, like here, and then switching to like a traditional head and arm to here. Taking that arm out, nice. I mean, that was a good heavy methodical guard pass, which I think that's, you know, whenever you have to exert that much effort, you might think it's like, oh, I suck at guard passing, I'm not doing it right because it should be quick and snappy. And a lot of times half guard passing is not, like, it is a grind, but it's, you know, constant pressure but constant forward progress, which is what you were doing. Now you're in a nasty little leg lock battle. Let's see just how that started. So he re-traps your ankle, gets on the deep half, and now, so yeah, where this went wrong was, so okay, he caught you in the mount transition. You're chilling at knee on belly. I like what Caleb does here. I definitely favor ankle trapping if I can't get you like boosted up, like your hips almost over my head to open up leg entanglements. Ankle trapping when you've got a guy's knee on your stomach is a good method to get out. And then he takes full advantage of what he was looking for the whole time, which was deep half. The benefit now is that since he caught you at knee on belly, by virtue of that position, your hips are over his, so he doesn't have to do the hard work of slinging you up on top where your hips, you know, he doesn't have to sling you on top to get your hips over his hips. Now he just has it. And it looks like he opts to play legs here. I think because you took your head in this direction, that tends to leave a leg behind. If you stacked toward him in this direction, you know, he could look to try to sweep you. You know, he's in a fairly good spot control wise, so he has some options. So since your head went away, that leaves an opportunity to get into the legs. He's in an outside ashi right now. Good attempt to use your free leg. I like that you did that. Now you're in a 50-50, which is, it's a dangerous spot to be. It's a tough spot to get out of too, and he switches to a straight ankle. That was a really, really good, like, tactical back and forth between the two of you. I like that. Let's go back and we'll get Mitch and Sean. What's going on here? So, big roll. Oh, Sean, that's a terrible spot. Alright, but it looks like you... Let's see, did you tap or... Oh, you just didn't want to kick Cole in the head, okay. Oh, Mitch was very kind. Let you work Oh, you did tap? Okay. It sucks, man. Belly down when someone's on your back is just the worst. I'm honestly more afraid of my spine getting cranked than anything. It looked like you kicked Cole. That's what I thought you guys. And then it looked like Mitch was like, oh, we could just start neutral. But yeah, I'm always afraid if someone goes to sink in a choke and they've managed to flatten me out like that, that they're gonna like yank up on me, and it's just so bad on your spine. Like, it's just miserable. Let's see. Cole get into a pretty easy mount here on Ronnie, so he's in top half guard. Gets his underhook. Heavy pressure, hips up high. Good. Slipping his knee through. That's just nice. Yeah. Listen, Austin. You may be right. That just means I have to take care of it more. One day, about 12 years from now, you'll start worrying about these things too. If the rest of your bird bones don't snap first. Oh, the Berimbolo. Wait, how did Ronnie get on top? A lot more going on in this than I remembered. Okay, maybe. I guess maybe. Oh, her shoulder's bothering her. Okay. Gumby ass place. Oh yeah, Dan called you Gumby. Oh, you guys are playing with a ninja roll. Pat, I'm stoked to see you working that armbar as much as you are. Just after going over to class, it always thrills me to see you guys working that stuff. Dude, Mitch is too damn good with his throw bys. And like just those little shucks that he does. So effective. It's one thing I'm super jealous of in his game. Stand up or there from like a kneeling position. Caleb's loving his deep half entries. I don't think you could be any deeper on someone's leg than Caleb is on Pat's right now. I don't know what happened there, but it's going to be a long road to escaping. Stuff. It sucks we don't have the round timer on the TV. I can't see how close we are to the end of the round. I was wondering what he was setting up for. So you could, as soon as he switches to that, like it's not like an over tie, because he's not on Cole's neck, but just like that outside bicep tie. You know he's looking to wrap something up. I was thinking he was either gonna like hit another throw by and pull his arm by with it, or we've seen Mitch very successfully use these arm throws before. Super deep all the way around. Really difficult to stop at that point. You better hope you're sweaty if he goes to hit that on you. It's the only way I've ever gotten away from that. Cole's not going to let him pass his guard too easily. Caleb is really hunting for belly down straight ankles these days. It's interesting. He pushed it all the way down and probably could have worked a pass. Let it go and said, never mind. I think I'll just try to break your shin. Nice takedown, man. So this is just a little pointer. I mean, you know, you got the takedown, so it's not like you did anything wrong here. With that wrist control that you have, I know, like I learned this from Bertram a long time ago. I know that when you've got a lead leg like that on the same side as that wrist, you can often shoot your single and keep that arm with you the whole time. You kind of, you know, it looks like you're testing him right now, like seeing if he's gonna, like, you know, step back, sprawl, down block, anything like that. You kind of pull this arm away from him before you take your shot. You can keep it the whole time. Like, as you change your level, you can keep that arm with you till basically right about here, just to further prevent any sort of block, any you know, he's not gonna use that hand for a guillotine. But yeah, that's, again, just a little thing to maybe try next time. Either way, this was good. Really trying to cut your angle. You block the second knee. Keep cutting your angle. What's up, Caleb? I just gave like a full explanation of something for you. You missed it. Or did you? I don't know. Chat's delayed. Maybe you saw it. But I did miss that entrance. Let's go back. All I was saying, since we're right here on the exact frame, is you can take that, the hand that you have, like the wrist that you're controlling at Danny's, you can take it with you when you shoot in on the single, rather than like pulling it out this far and then dropping your level. You could take it with you. It's something Bertram showed me a long time ago that I know he likes. And I'm impressed with how composed Danny stayed here just to sink in his darce. That was really nice. Does he get it? Nice. That was a dogfight. Regardless, that was a good takedown from you. You just have to, just got to be careful on the counter there. What did Big Dan just do? Okay, you got Americana on Pat. That was like that mounted Americana Luke had us going over last week. Nice throw. Are you setting up for your spin around Americana? I haven't seen you pull that one out lately, Caleb. Oh, he's slipping the elbow. Nice. Let's watch this play out, and then we'll go back. Danny wants this heel hook so bad. Oh, time. Damn. All right, let's look at this. So, I mean, even further back to here, I feel like Danny honestly wanted you to go to mount. Like I think he probably felt confident that if you were in mount, you weren't going to finish the Americana, if I'm guessing. And then from here, I know I've chatted with some of the white belts about this for the last few months with like mount escapes. You know, notice Danny getting his inside elbow position. He's going to flatten his leg, pointing his knee outward, and this is all to work an elbow escape. He gets his knee under Caleb's shin eventually, captures, and then he's using the forearm in his inside elbow position to push the knee down while he pulls his own knee up. Caleb's doing the best he can to block it. And then I'm not mad at that attempt, Caleb. Like I feel like you made a quick, early decision to switch to the legs before Danny had an opportunity to maybe do it himself. Right? It almost looks like Danny's considering going for this leg of yours at this point. Hard to say, just because you beat him to the punch. But with your spin around knee bar here, that was a great counter to losing the losing the position. And remember, you can also spin just to, or try to spin to a cross ashi. I would prefer the cross side just because I find more success with it than the outside ashi. Just felt like it was there. I was going to end up in half anyway, so I'm for. Yeah, no, that was great. I mean, you should. I mean, seeing it now on screen, like that's honestly a consideration I would make. Like bailing on, you're going from an upper body dominant attacking position to a complete other side of the coin, 100% lower body dominant attacking position, which is great when you can do that back and forth. Like that's why, like, I love seeing triangle attacks that fail that lead to leg attacks, right? Like it's that same kind of thing, and they've got to make a very quick adjustment to get safe, to build their own counterattacks. You immediately put them on the defensive. So when you're finding yourself dealing with an elbow escape, that could be a good go-to move for your game. I'll probably play with it myself too once I get back to it. And then now Danny's doing a great thing here. He's immediately disrupting Caleb's ability to attack the ankle by using his free leg. At the same time, he's digging as hard as he can to get heel exposure on Caleb's trapped leg. And it's a difficult thing to do in tandem, at least at first. Danny's definitely attacked his share of legs, so he's well practiced at it. But now you could see he's working from a 50-50 position. Let's see if we could catch that transition a little better. So Caleb's, just by virtue of being in outside ashi, like you could see here, Caleb's own trapped leg, his left leg in this case, is across the body, so it's prone to an inside heel hook. If Caleb were to pass Danny's trapped leg, Danny's left leg, over across his own center line, they'd be in a true 50-50 position, and Caleb could attack inside heel hooks himself, as well as, some of the other variations we've been playing around with, like the Mikey lock and all that stuff. But yeah, so once Danny feels confident that his ankles aren't in any, or his heel or his knee, that they're not in any trouble, he could really put on his own counter offensive, which he starts to do here. And the whole time, the fact that I see him still continuously digging on the ankle tells me that he's confident in his own defenses at this point. Like, he doesn't feel like his leg is in any trouble, so he continues to dig, and even right there briefly gets great heel exposure. I think the only reason that slipped out is the position of the heel on his forearm. It often ends up here. I know we always teach getting it right into the part of the wrist right here, the crook of the wrist. It's tough to do in full speed. That's why I just got to rep this stuff out a lot. But notice his forearm of Danny's left forearm is kind of along this line. Caleb's foot is more along this line. You want to get these two lines as close to parallel as possible. And you do that by adjusting your forearm. So if this is Caleb's foot, Danny would want to pull his elbow. Let me get rid of these. Danny would want to kind of pull his elbow back behind him and shift his wrist down to the heel, right? And that'll lock in that inside heel hook much more significantly than it will, than it'll hold in this position. Danny and Mike showed me pointing the toe escape. Yeah, it does. It does, but it works when your opponent doesn't have a solid connection, right? Which Danny doesn't have right now. It can definitely be better. But yeah, pointing the toes and turning your heel and hiding it is exactly what you did, and it works very well in this case. And if you need additional help, because maybe his grip is a little better, you have your free leg to push on his elbow, to push on his arm, to try to put it into a position where turning your toes can slip the heel. But that's awesome that you remembered that as your shit was getting cranked on, because that's not exactly a great position that you're in right now. So good on you for keeping that clarity. And then I like what you did there too. Once you slipped it, got the heels together or your feet together. 2 feet together are much harder to attack than one. And then it was just on to a 50-50 battle here, which I think ended at the round. So again, another really great tactical battle there. That was awesome. I'm stoked, man. You guys are killing it. Big Dan, Big Cole. Couple losers here. Pulling guard at the same time. Look at that. That's disgusting. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. Just embraced together. Let's go. It's pathetic. Moving on. They did it right in front of me too. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Maybe I'll clip this and I'll make a meme, put it on Reels, we'll go viral. Let me get it clean. Yeah. One more. Let me get it clean. Oh, I'm gonna do it even better. Turn all the sound off so we could put really funny music over it. Maybe some sound effects. All right, nobody say anything. Perfect. All right, moving on. Back to the real jiu-jitsu. A couple pimps pulling guard at the same time. Yeah, you're right. So you would have had the points deducted, not him. Actually, if it was my competition, you both would have been disqualified and banned for life. I thought you were going to go for a slick little leg entrance there, Caleb. Oh, Cole and Dan were having a nice battle over there in the corner. Sucks we missed a bunch of it. What happened? Was that a wrist lock, Mitch? Or Pat? I don't know if Mitch is watching right now. Oh, Austin going for the buggy. To the reverse triangle. I like the reverse triangle better, but only because I can do it. I don't think I have any hope of ever doing the buggy choke. Oh, it was a Darce? Okay. Yeah, Mitch is like, he's got, the Darce is like his secret weapon. He caught me in one of his a few weeks back. It was instantly awful. So like we saw Mitch set up that arm throw on Cole earlier with the same like outside bicep tie, right, where he reaches over the collar tie to the inside position. And you can see there he like kind of cups the tricep, shrugs to get the hand, Pat, to get your hand off the back of his head and tries to throw it by. He just didn't have the horsepower on that one. Shouldn't say that. You may not have been like leaning in quite as much. It all makes a difference. Is merciful to the pillar. doing good, trying to get his ankle free. He's in a good spot for it. Curious if maybe Pat's just bear trapping on his leg like he does. Oh, how did Caleb get there? Caleb was just a mount a second ago. Isolates the arm. Caleb, I don't know how you're not getting that Kimura. But if you're going to let go of it, I'm glad to see you transition to another. That's a shitty spot for Austin. Let's see if you finish this or just kind of a stalling spot for the two of you. All right, so I'm gonna assume you had a decent grip, like just from the get-go, right? Your elbow is kind of on the outside, like by his ear. So maybe it wasn't as good, but let's just say for the sake of what I'm about to tell you, your grip is fine. Right now, you've got to get to it, your left hip, right? Whatever side the head's on. And like, you know, you're fiddling with your legs here, you know, trying to climb up the body. I know like an older approach to a closed guard guillotine is, you know, grip it and rip it. But if you're willing to uncross your legs like this and try to maneuver, I would highly suggest getting your hips out to the right, your right, out in this direction. And you do that by, once you uncross your legs, drive your right leg up straight and try to like push his hips over and push your hips out, right? So his hips will go here, your hips will go there. And get to that like side scissor position that we often use from closed guard in setting up, you know, back takes, pendulum sweeps, everything basically, or a lot of things from closed guard. And that will help you get to that side crunch that you need to finish that guillotine. Again, assuming you have good grips. If he disrupted the grips early on and you were trying to adjust or get to there, I understand. Yeah, come on, Mitch. That's what I want to see. Big push. Those little moves to get your limbs free, it's like a form of kipping, right? Like how we use on the kipping escape. Like it's just, you can really get a lot done by just doing a little bit in quick succession, just like a pull, and get that leg free. So don't think it's got to just be, you know, a tug of war the whole time. Nice guard pass from Big Dan here. Just stepping around. I like how he's pinning Cole's far leg, making it difficult for Cole to turn back into him. Keeping the knees pointed away. So much pressure. Pat and Mitch are just chilling at this point. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, Sean and Cole. That sucks. You had a nice side guard set up. And I just said, psych, I'll just go to mount. All right, Pat and Caleb. Sean, I wouldn't use the shoulder crunch grip there until you get like at least to like a half butterfly. Like Cole's so high up on you, and like you'll need a hook, an inside hook to really utilize that grip. Everything you were doing before though, I like with framing the hips. When the shoulder pressure became a bit much, you started addressing it. But yeah, just recognize like once you get a little higher up, or you know, you can bring Cole down a little bit, maybe with a lockdown or any number of frames or framing setups. That shoulder crunch sweep will be, or the shoulder crunch position will be better utilized from there. Oh, Pat looking for the spin around. Is that something you're like, is that something you feel like you have in your arsenal, Pat? It was a bit tentative of an approach. And when you do it, I'd like to see this arm actually taking a scoop grip, like an underhook grip on Caleb's leg. Rather than being on the outside as you go around, right? It's not doing you any favors here. In fact, if you're really thinking about doing it, right now you can get this leg back, right? Because you're gonna want to take that up to knee on belly, and then hit your spin around. So this may have been, you may have had trouble with it. Let's see. Yeah, this leg of yours is just way too high up Caleb's body. You really want to like surf right across his hips, right across the crease of his hip. Otherwise up there he's got a lot that he could slow you down with, and then he gets to you know, give you trouble. You get kind of caught in an unsteady position there. He doesn't really have anything on your leg, but he definitely shut down your attack. With Sean and Cole. All right, Sean gets in on a Kimura. So I'm assuming he doesn't let you get it out, and you end up using it for a sweep. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, if you... anybody who ever tries a Kimura from that position, if your opponent is just not going to let you get the hand out, don't give up on it. You can actually, instead of trying to pull it out from underneath them, push it further underneath them and start to engage your legs, kind of like how Sean did there to hit the sweep. Kimura grips are useful for a lot more than just the Kimura, so keep that in mind if you get one. Yeah, and I think that's perfectly reasonable. I mean, it's it always kind of pains me to see people try for that, they don't get it, and then they pull their arms out. The only reason I ever pull my arms out on those is if I know or if I feel that they have a good counter Kimura. Like Luke has a vicious sit through Kimura that my shoulder just cannot handle, so I immediately let it go on bigger guys like that. But nice reverse or rear triangle from Austin here. So Jason getting a little overzealous from the back position. Kind of lost it early on. Up and around. Austin just has to shift his hips behind the head. Oh, I guess he doesn't in this case. But it would just help mechanically. But either way, once he gets that arm up above Jason's head, it's Triangle City. And yeah, let's see how it finishes. Okay. So yeah, it looked like it was a bit more on the right angle, or on the correct angle there. You really, for the triangle specifically, you really want to get your hips behind their head. Sometimes easier said than done. But that's what's awesome about the rear triangle position is you have the triangle, an Americana, a legitimate wrist lock, a Kimura. There's like 5 really good submissions you could hit from there. And an armbar. So even if you're denied the ideal angle, you still have a plethora of options. Good pressure, Sean. I like keeping your knee right up against his hip, making it difficult for him to maneuver. Ready to slide right out of that into a guard pass. That was excellent. Oh, close. Good round, everybody. Jason with the duck under. Let's see that one more time. Nice. I can't remember if he and I were going over that, or I was talking about that with somebody recently. Really nice. Cole doing a good job misaligning, trying to get his shoulders to the mat. So if you're trying to get you're trying to like, you know, Jason's essentially lost the back at this point. So if you're trying to retain the back or get the back again, a big part of this is going to be having that knee slide up behind, up as far like behind the head as you can get it, right? Like way up the back before sitting your butt to the mat and then falling to the side to take him over. So a little low here, just like it's beneath the shoulders. It's going to make it easy for Cole to disrupt that. This might be a better angle to see. There we go. That was better. I don't think he had the upper body arm connection that he needed. His foot is still trapped too, so that can make it a little difficult, but that shouldn't be a showstopper. Little arm drag spin there. So let's look at that real quick. So hand placement, that's what I thought, and that's what I wanted to see. So when we went over this in class, and again, this is live, so I know it's not always spot on. This hand is a little bit low, which doesn't give you as much influence. Like you could still pull the shoulders, and you could still maybe get arm drags from here. I mean, it happens a lot. But the higher you move towards the armpit, one, the closer you'll be to them as you hit that pull, but two, the more influence and torque you have directly on the shoulders, which is what you're really trying to accomplish, right? You're trying to expose the back. If you were to pull my arm, my whole arm has room to extend before my shoulder meets it, right? But if you pull my shoulder, I'm immediately turning with it. So aim high on that. I always say try to get like a false wrist grip, you know, like shoot up into the armpit. Where's my arm? Shoot up into the armpit with like their armpit hitting you right about there. And that should help prevent this sort of thing from happening, that kind of arm drag, re-drag, merry-go-round thing you find yourself in. Oh, nasty guard pull. See, that's what an effective guard pull looks like. Almost effective. And then you stood right back up. And then went right back down. Austin's got a reverse triangle up there. But his knee's up a little high. Okay. Both Cody and Danny. Alright. I think they're just chilling. Caleb, I think what you were trying to do here was like that bottom side head and arm. Problem is Sean has the crossface arm in place. If your head was on this side of his tricep, you could hit that, but it's not going to work with his arm in the current position it's in. But I'm sure you probably realize that. Good. Cole's really making Jason work here. Got the heal exposure almost. Good defense, Caleb. I like what I saw here. When you got to this position, so reaping is one of the best ways to expose the heel. And Caleb's a big dude. He wants to plant his foot. Reaping with your own leg may not be enough. You're also for a reap with your leg, you're a little high, like you're on the thigh. Here's the trade-off. If you take your shin from applying pressure here down towards the knee, you'll probably expose the heel more easily. The downside of that is he can more easily slip the knee line as his heel gets exposed. So instead, you kept it here, and then you used both hands to crank down on the knee and get his heel popping out, which is great. That was a nice little adaptation. The trade-off there is that typically when you expose a heel, you want to grab that sucker as fast as you can. Right now, both of your arms are busy performing a job, and they can't jump on the heel as quickly as they can. And I think even your right arm, the one that would be hitting the heel hook, is under the leg, so you'd have to pull that back out, go back over the top. So it's none of this. These techniques aren't good or bad. They are what they are, and you just have to recognize the trade-offs as you're doing it. And then, this is a matter of personal preference. I'm just not good at like standard ashi or outside ashi. You're in like an arimi ashi, a standard ashi position. It's always you're just a rotation away from getting to a cross ashi. There was a brief moment here. Caleb wasn't digging in on anything. You had just gotten up and over. Right here where you slip your foot free of his leg. You can hoist your hips up and try to make that turn, or instead of digging on the outside heel hook, you can always transition, grab the foot by the knuckle line of the toes, pull it over your body, transition to 50-50 for like immediate heel exposure for an inside heel. I don't know. It's probably a big hole in my game, my outside ashi offense, because I just tend to attack from 50-50 now, 50-50 or cross ashi. But yeah, play around with that. And if you're really trying to do a deep dive into arimi ashi or outside ashi, stick with it for as long as you can and get more out of it. I just know that transitioning has worked for me lately, transitioning to 50-50. He almost got it, and Caleb did a good thing there, getting his feet together behind the back. I actually really like that defense. I know I've frustrated Peters with that a bunch of times, just trying to dig it on a heel and then trying to work a back take. And then I think we have a last little casual round from you two. Good arm drag to the back again. Those kind of moves works seated, kneeling, just as good as they do standing. And in fact, I would say you're probably grabbing up a lot higher than you were on the one you did against Caleb. It's hard to say. Just I can't see your hand. But either way, it worked really well. Now you're deep into the hand fight battle. Good escaping. Yeah, Jason's got to be careful there. It's always something everybody needs to work on, man. But we could give you some blueprints to play around with from there. It's my absolute favorite place to attack from. But all of you have gotten good at defending it, so it's taking a little back to the drawing board for me. Or really, when I started learning how to effectively leg trap, that's where my back attacks started to get a lot better. So, you right now, your strangle arm is your right arm. His primary defensive arm is his left arm. Trapping that left arm, always the top arm. That's going to be the real thing that helps you out here. You got looks like you got under the neck, either under the neck far enough or a good mandible strangle, or maybe he just didn't want his beard getting ripped out too much. But yeah, just winning the hand fight is one of the hardest battles from there. Here we go. Yeah, he's working a lot from here. He's getting heavy on your legs, but he doesn't have a very secure upper body grip. So that's a dangerous spot for him to be. Jason, if you want to play from here, think about it setting up body locks, right? Like Sean is doing a very good job at getting you to plant your hands out, getting you to disengage when you've started to lose the battle, so you don't make enough forward progress here. Body lock passing may be a really good option for you. I mean, we see like Pat using it to really good effect. I mean, Luke, of course. Bigger guys can work body locks that are utterly annoying and shut down a lot. So we can talk about that next time we're at class. I like how you're opening up his left arm there, getting it far away from his ribs. Good transition. You're way high up on the shoulders too when you made that transition. Like your hips are basically maybe even above his shoulder line. So when you finally go to step over, like, yeah, that was good. You weren't in any threat of getting your leg captured. Onto the gift wrap. Good awareness from Jason. He just prevented the back take and then turned away and exposed his back again. So Jason, whenever you watch this, I want you to just check that out, right? Keep that in mind. You stayed composed on the gift wrap. You brought your elbow up, put it in a bit of a compromising space, but it avoided the gift wrap, and then you turned away towards the leg and you gave him a really good back, or you gave him back exposure at that point. So now he just has to reset the grips. He's got his knee up high behind the head, which we were talking about earlier. Nice. Looks like you turned out a bit faster than he could get to it. Good movement, Jason. Still not quite getting around the legs. You're not jumping by the legs. You're gonna have to exhibit a bit more control. But I like what you're thinking. I'm assuming you guys are just kind of trying to work back stuff from here. Is that was it just like largely positional sparring? Maybe going over some of the stuff from class. Just one last anything? No. It's too easy to get distracted and just say let's roll. But yeah, no, that's good, man. That's the way to do it. And I think we end with you guys working from here. Cool. All right, man. Said it before. Like, there were some really great tactical battles tonight. You don't always get to see that stuff, you know, at full speed, or when you're rolling live. Maybe you don't always realize how many of these techniques have become automatic for you guys. And I hope you all got to see. I hope you got to spot the same things I'm seeing when I'm watching you guys roll. You're all killing it. So really, really happy to see that. Please keep it up. Keep getting to the mats and putting in that work. And yeah, take a little time to do some positional sparring as well. Always helps. Thank you guys for joining in. Yeah, keep in mind, not this Friday, but next Friday we have our seminar. Keep an eye out on your inboxes for more information on that. I believe Luke will be sending that out shortly. What else? We got Coach Mike teaching tomorrow for a gi class, so be sure to attend and go beat his bitch ass. Do it for me because I won't be there. And then I will see you guys this coming Saturday. I'll be coaching for Luke. So what else? Follow us here, subscribe on YouTube, yada yada, all that good stuff. Support us over at coffee.com/MOBJJ. Yeah, and get back to class. Trim your nails, do your laundry, don't be stinky. And bring any questions you guys have, and I'll be sure to go over it with you. Have a good one, guys.